So, it's time to change the ECU kit in the Astra. But will it start? Fingers crossed, but I'm not banking on it. I mean, it does seem like the most logical thing to replace to get it running, because the ECU on the immobilizer has basically just lost its signal, so this ECU kit is the cheapest option. So, we'll see how it goes. Right, let's see what we have here. We've got one ECU. Oh, what else? Another key with the chip is inside it just there, but I'll show you that in a minute. So the only part of this we're going to be using is the key fob and the chip inside, because I've already got my key here, which I'm going to be using. So all I'm putting into that is the key fob and the key chip. And what else do we have? Right. And here we have the transponder, which basically, when you put the key in the ignition, a signal is linked between the chip in the key and the transponder, and that is basically what's happened with the car. It's basically lost signal between these two parts, but they're all coded in the same. They're all synchronized in with each other. So I'm gonna have to replace this whole kit here to get the car running. But this is basically the cheapest option, rather than get this recoded, which will probably cost over £100. This is the cheapest option. This whole kit only costs £35. So we'll see how we get on with this. Fingers crossed it starts, and I'll see you in the next part of the video. Right, that's the new replacement ECU kit on. Like I said, it's very important to make sure that earth down there is on, and it's really simple. Like you may need to use a spanner to get access to these bolts down here, because they are, well, you can't get down with a ratchet. Let's just say that. These are obviously pretty simple to get at. Now these things can be pretty tricky to get off. I know I didn't show you at the start of the video. It's just I wanted to kind of get this kind of done and out of the road, because I've been wanting to get this done for quite some time, you know. Yeah, you need to be careful you don't break these, because if these get broken, then it's pretty bit of a pain in the arse to get these back off again. But how to go back on again, it's pretty simple. You just make sure I kind of just try and wiggle it on, just like so. And that's that. Now, time to move on to the tricky part. The one part that I'm not looking forward to, which is changing the transponder underneath the dashboard, which is more or less just around the steering column. It's not too bad, but I'll try and show you how it's done. Also, I'll need to show how to change the key and the chip as well. One thing I didn't cover earlier on in the video, but I'll get around to all this eventually. So I'll see you again in just a second. Right, second time lucky. First time I put the wrong battery on. One that was actually flat. Wonder why it wouldn't start. So I've got the fresh battery on now, and we'll see if she starts or not. But I just put the ignition on, there's no lights or fuck all, so it should start. It fucking starts! Oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. Job done. On the ECU kit only costs 30 quid, and that's a running. Brilliant result. I think I'm gonna leave it running for a few minutes just to let it kind of warm up, and so nothing's fine. But that's a brilliant result today. I'll be back with you in a few minutes. Well, that's us finished for the day. Really happy we got it running, because I was thinking the worst when I first got the car. I was expecting it like to be something more serious than it was. Luckily, it just needed another ECU kit, so obviously the transponder had lost the code for the chip in the key or something like that. Obviously something had gone wrong there somewhere, you know. But the main thing is it's running now, and I'm fucking chuffed. I did also have a bigger intake pipe and a Vector airbox to go on, but they're cheap, so like I just bought them just to see if they'd be working or not. Like, but they don't fit. They're not much off, like, but they just don't fit perfect. So I have to get like the right bit of neon, because I did have a 2.2 intake pipe on my old Astra, but that was actually off a Vector. But the one I got, the intake pipe. It was a feeder, but they look near enough identical, but they don't fit. So I'll need to get the correct one further down the line, but the main thing is she's running now, and I'm absolutely chuffed. So if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and watch out for future content.